Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Colorado Comic Book Kid.
Holy comic crossover event, Batman! What a great week for new comic books! Happy new comic book haul, everybody. This is the week of July 18th. Excited to share some new books that I picked up this week. But before I jump into what we saw come through Colorado, I want to start with a couple headlines that I think are important to touch on from some of our favorite publishers. First, I want to start with Aftershock, who announced that coming in October, we're going to be introduced to a new character named Sasha, who's an Elon Musk-like character that will intrigue us in a new title called The Last Space Race by Pete Calloway and Alex Shabao. The cover on that already has me curiously wondering what may come, so if you haven't heard about The Last Space Race from Aftershock, go take a peek at that. Switching over to DC, I want to touch on a really cool announcement that they made this week. Also going to be dropping in October, so that's shaping up to be a hot month, a red hot month, red October. You see where I'm going there. Hanna-Barbarra Cross-Overs are going to be coming back. We're going to get, I think, 6 new titles in that. And they're going to follow Huckleberry Hound as a Vietnam War protester. A new twist on the Yogi Bear mythos in which he becomes a spooky spirit bear that lives in Yellowstone Park, and he's not just stealing picnic baskets, he's also kidnapping campers. Yogi, he's always up to no good. Superman and Top Cat are going to be getting together. And then Dick Grayson and Magilla Gorilla. So some great team-ups, some great writers, great artists. Go check out that announcement. If you haven't seen it, I'll be posting links down below. Those are the updates from Aftershock and from DC. And to round things out, if we didn't touch on Marvel, they'd send us a letter. So the good news in the Marvel universe is that we're going to be getting What Ifs back. And again, this is in October, so it's going to be hot. What If is going to be dropping with, again, I think also 6 new titles that are going to be exploring some interesting concepts, as they always do in those wacky what if worlds. If you haven't seen that, check out my other vid that talks about what's going to be happening in those what if titles from Marvel. Second, I want to give a shout out to Comic Book University. They were one of the first comic book channels that I started watching, and I think they touch so much material that they are able to still provide some honest and quality coverage around, that they do a great job. I'll be putting a link to their channel down below also. Appreciate what you're doing over there, Comic Book University. Thanks for all the lessons, Professor. Now, back to where we start. First things first. What do we have in the world of firsts? I mentioned there were some holy comic crossover events this week, and this is it. Archie meets Batman 66 #1. This cover is cover A. It has me cracking up because the dynamic duo is smashing through Archie's garage during band practice. Just overkill in the most humorous way. A couple other variants on that title. Here is, I think this is cover E that I picked up. And my favorite out of all the covers, this is the homage to the Grease movie. I think that's my favorite of the 3. Also in the world of #1s, we have Clan Killers from Aftershock Comics. This one was a little too dark in my opinion. It follows the story in Ireland of different clans and how those conflicts between them will unfold. Interesting concept, rather dark story. Futurama Comics Annual #1. 2 big stories in one. This one had me cracking up. I was flipping back through pages to reread the jokes. There's so many little nods in the art and in the quips to the Futurama universe. I think this annual did a great job. Well done, Bongo Comics. Rounding things out in the #1s this week, Life of Captain Marvel. This is the definitive origin story. There's also the beautiful Art Germ variant here. And also the Jay Quesada variant. I love this variant because you really can't tell if she's on the shores of an ocean, if she's on the edge of the universe. That lighthouse there in the background, the star off in the distance. I think that's just a very intriguing piece of art right there. Well done, Joe. Also in #1s, there was The Mall and 12 Devils Dancing. I wasn't able to find those at the local shops this week, so hopefully I have some luck with the online marketplaces able to pull those down. Getting back with the regular weekly haul, we've got Avengers number 5. They really rise to the challenge this week. This is what I love about comic books, when the unimaginable is actually depicted on the pages. So I'm enjoying this story here, following the Celestials, the Regurgitator, the Sorrower. Very fun stuff. Analog number 4 from Image Comics. This little cat right here is actually artificial intelligence named the Project, and our protagonist gives the artificial intelligence some information that upsets the Japanese to the point where they kick him out of the country. What is that news? Are there more artificial intelligences around the world? I'm curious to find out. And there's also the B variant on that this week. I think the art here is pretty spectacular. The reflection bouncing off that wall, it's just really captivating. Batman, Cold Days Part 1, DC Comics. Tom King still writing the storylines here. Bruce Wayne has been selected for jury duty. And now he's sequestered in the trial of Mr. Freeze. Ooh, the tension in that juror room, let me tell you. How this builds to enhance our dark, brooding character of Batman, how this relates to the Batcat wedding that just didn't happen, I'm not really sure, but I'll give Tom a chance to explain himself here, and I'm interested to see what happens next. How exciting can jury duty really be? Ice Cream Man number 5, another Image book. This one's beautifully horrific. I think that's enough said right there. The Immortal Hulk number 3. You see Hotshot with his gamma ray finger gun blasting straight through the Immortal Hulk. I enjoyed this story, the way it was crafted from different points of view, and then culminating with a little bit of a, I won't call it a cliffhanger, but a teaser in terms of what's to come next. I'll say this, Alpha Flight's coming back, and I'm excited about that because I just showed off an Alpha Flight number 1 from 1983 in one of my other vids, so check out the link there. Very coincidental that all of this is coming together this week. Infinity Countdown number 5, final book in this run. It really, I guess, tees up Infinity Wars. There was one interesting storyline around Hank Pym that I want to know what happens. I want to know how that's linked to what's, going to unfold next. I think that was the most intriguing thing for me here. And there was also the B variant on this title this week as well. Infinity 8 from Magnetic Press. This is Volume 2, Number 1. So the timeline's been rebooted in our last issue. They're starting off a new extension of that timeline here, such as the Infinity 8 cruise ship can do with its captain. And here on the cover we see Agent Moonwalker fighting a bodiless head. Not really down with the rise of the Fourth Reich, I'll be honest, so hopefully she can crush that here quickly and we can move on to a new story. That was a little heavy, so I like to keep things light by coming on down to Fraggle Rock, Art Baltazar, in issue 3 of 4. This one's really playful, it's fun, enough said. Speaking of playful and fun, Future Quest presents issue number 12. This is a Frankenstein Jr. wrap-up storyline. I shouldn't really say wrap-up storyline, it's more of a standalone one-shot here at the end of the 12-issue run from DC. Jeff Parker writes it well. The art's really done great by Morissette. And anytime I can see a kid standing on the shoulder of a giant robot battling some sort of genetically spliced hybrid creature, I'm down. And that's exactly what we get in this. But don't take my word for it. You see it right there on the B variant also. From Image Comics and Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, here we go. Gideon Falls, number 5. Everyone's reading this, it seems like. If you're not reading it, I guess you're just not cool. Great story around the town of Gideon Falls. I love the black cabin. I mean, the fact that it didn't even show up in this one, but I'm still so intrigued about it. And that's what I'm talking about first. Just goes to show how cool the black cabin is. And who wouldn't want to go there when Scotty Young draws it like this? Just makes people smile. Justice League number 4. Who dares learn the secrets of the Source Wall? My hand's in the air. I do. I want to know what's going on here. I want to know how the Legion of Doom is going to be stopped from taking control of the multiverse. Maybe without the help of Batman and Superman. I don't know. Let's see what happens next year. Maybe she'll have something to do with that. Here's the Jim Lee variant on Justice League 4. And really cool local shop put aside for me the pencil sketch variant of that. So super excited to add that to the personal collection. Mark Millar's Kick-Ass, issue number 6 from Image Comics. This is the final story in the first arc following Patience establishes her new position as Kick-Ass in the community. He's going to be handing off the reins to another writer. I can't recall who that writer is off the top of my head. If you guys know, leave a note down in the comments below. I may have to crack this one open and review that note on the last pages here. Number 1 was just out last week, and number 2 is coming at us this week from Aftershock, The Lost City Explorers. Zach Kaplan's story is great. I love what he's doing with these kids as they jump into the tunnels of Manhattan to go save their father. Is Atlantis down there? Do gods live inside the mystical city of Atlantis? I don't know, but the art in here is also very well done. It has me just studying some of the panels to see if I'm missing any little hidden clues or details. Such attention to those details. Great job. Keep up the work that I'm enjoying here. Something I'm not enjoying, all the lowlifes in Lowlife. Very aptly titled book. I think every character in here is a piece of scum. And yeah, I want to see what happens to him. Jumping back to the Mark Millar verse from Image, The Magic Order number 2, the story of dueling wizard clans in a modern age world and how they hide themselves from society. Hook, line, and sinker. I'm all in on this book. I can't wait to see what Netflix does with it when they bring it to the small screen. Great job, guys. Also this week, you have the B variant, the black and white. I think that is a good example of how much detail goes into this artwork ahead of even the coloring being applied. I actually think you can see more of the intricacies in this particular version of the cover. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 29, Shattered Grid storyline continues. Will the grid shatter? Will the army of Rangers be able to bring an end to this cataclysmic event? I don't know. To be honest, I think they might all die. And I say that because everybody in New Challengers dies. I'm not going to tell you who dies this week. I will tell you it's more than one person that dies this week. I hear that whole title might die here in the near future. We'll see. Old Man Hawkeye, issue number 7. This really gives us the context of why this is a revenge story. It helps us understand the motivation behind Hawkeye, and it just wrenches our gut when we figure out what happened to his team during the Fall of Heroes. Image Comic and Jeff Lemire bring us Royal City issue 12 story, and the art is by Jeff Lemire. This book is amazing. This particular issue just pulled me right in, and what makes it even more amazing is how it was able to do that without the use of words on about half of the pages. It's just images and flashbacks that tell such an impactful story. I don't know what to say, Jeff. You're doing a great job. Keep up that work. We want to see more from you. We appreciate everything you're doing. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, number 307. I want Spider-Geddon to destroy this entire story and give us something new and fresh. Please and thank you. That might just be my teenage angst talking. Runaways, number 11. Skyward, number 4. Another Image book that just has me hook, line, and sinker. I think Joe Henderson's story here. I think Garbett's art. I think Fabella's colors. I think it's all just so well done. I don't know how this hasn't been picked up for a movie studio to put it on the big screen. I think that's the only way you could translate this story. I'm not sure the small screen would do it justice, but I definitely would love to see this put into a different medium. That being said, they tell it so well in this particular medium. I just want more people to see the story. Speaking of something we'll be seeing more of, Spider-Gwen. This might be her last issue in this title run, number 34. Love that throwback cover right there. She does get a new little hoodie in this issue. I'm excited to see her story arc continue in Spider-Verse and Spider-Geddon. Something I'm not really excited about is the art in this book. Thor number 3, art by Del Mundo. I think he does a good job on the cover. I think that after 3 issues of this style of art on page after page, I actually get a little nauseous in it. And the story's just so-so at this point. So looking for an improvement in this title. Tony Stark Iron Man number 2. I liked this. I liked having the internal conflict with Rhodey. I like understanding what he's going through after that resurrection event. I'm excited to see what type of external conflict is going to set up the story going forward. And I'll follow Dan Slott along for the ride. So, what you got? Rounding things out this week, X-Men Red, issue number 6. Gentle is the character there on the cover. We've been introduced to the characters. We've been introduced to the setting. We've been introduced to the villain that's going to be attacking here in the next issue. I'm ready for this thing to launch into the next story. Will that happen? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
As always, thank you for tuning in. I have an attitude of gratitude for those subscribes and likes. Please click below. And until next time, remember, the best hunting is happy hunting. The Colorado Comic Book Kid signing off and wishing you well.